Welcome, everybody, to the second part of our service. We've been so blessed with a wonderful message this morning. Thank you, Mauricio. We did receive some sad news, and yet in a way, it was also a blessing. Our good friend Mina has gone to be with our Creator. She is, it's almost like a double blessing, because not only was she taken on a Shabbat at midnight, but also the last moments of Shavuot. So she has been carried up in the arms of and now in the arms of our Creator. And Shavuot is a time of great rejoicing. I'm so glad. I don't know if she had a chance, but she did want to see our Shavuot service, and I was able to record it and send it to her. But I don't know if she saw it. But now she doesn't need it because she's in the ultimate joy. There's no presence as precious as that of being with our Creator. I remember when our Rabbi had a near-death experience, or I would say a death experience, and was revived, and he told us the ultimate, the feeling of shalom that was indescribable, and he didn't want to come back. He wanted to remain. But he said that God told him that he was not finished. He needed to continue his work. And I guess he needed to continue it to prepare us to be able to take over the work of those who are here today, those of our congregation. And I keep thinking that we are a remnant. The congregation name is A Remnant Shall Return. And a remnant is always a very small amount of people. And we are here, we are 12 today on the screen. 12, like the 12 tribes of Israel, like the 12 disciples, the 12 Talmidim of Yeshua, who made a big noise. It doesn't take a lot of people to make a big noise on the earth. And we are continuing his legacy, the thing that you spoke about today, Mauricio, about the covenant. And I'll never forget listening to this Israeli man and speaking in Hebrew. And he was saying, Israel doesn't have a constitution, which is the furthest thing from the truth, because the constitution of Israel was given to us at Mount Sinai. And we were prepared, as you said, for those 50 days from the time we left Egypt till the time we reached to prepare ourselves as a bride prepares herself for her groom, to receive this covenant, these 10 beautiful commandments, and it is our job, it is our responsibility, as you said, Mauricio, to become mature, to raise ourselves out of that childhood, the childishness that we want to hold on to, because we want to feel that we don't need to be responsible. Let our parents be responsible. But as you said, we were no longer the little child who runs home to his parents and expects to be taken care of. We are now in that position. And I feel that more than ever, especially after I lost my parents, that now I'm that next generation. I'm the one who has to become mature, and maturity requires responsibility. And we don't always want to take on that responsibility. But when we start to feel it, to know that we are not alone, and that our God is with us, and that he's still our parents, he's still our mother and our father, and he will never let us go. He will watch over us. And now as we continue in this book of Bamidbar, we're going to see how he's going to walk with us each and every day, every step of the way, as we mature. And unfortunately, that generation, that first generation that left Egypt, had to die off in the wilderness because they refused to trust him. And as I said last week, trust is a choice. We make that choice to put our faith into action. Like Rabbi Shaul said, faith without works is dead. So it doesn't mean anything to say, oh, I have faith. Big deal. It's a gift of God, so no one can boast. But the faith needs to take action. We need to step into our calling so that we can then build the trust, where we know that no matter what we're going to go through, God is with us. So thank you, Mauricio, for that beautiful message. It was an honor for me to read it. Thank you. Your turn, everybody. Anybody want to say something? Go ahead, Miriam.
Well, I'm preoccupied with Mina, and I was thinking of what a beautiful thing that she's taken on Shabbat and the Shavuot.
Yeah.
And before, like, I was crying my eyes out and thinking,
yeah,
you know, partly what Mauricio said about preparation for the Torah and being mature and all these things. And I was thinking, you know, how am I going to, like, it's another loss, and it's, how am I going to have the strength to go through this? And God is with us in all these ways. And one thing Mauricio, when you talked about, not only is growing up about responsibility, sometimes not growing up is not about being immature, it's about being arrogant. And I'm thinking of it in terms of walking with God. Like, we're part of the, let's say, fault or disobedience of the Israelites was reflected in arrogance. You know, we don't need this, or jealousy, or why is Moses leading us? And it's a lot of it had to do with arrogance. And there's a kind of a growing up that's not only the way the world sees it. Oh, I have a job, I have kids, I have this. It's almost a return to an innocent childishness, childlikeness. And that's what people also need to walk with God. It's not only I'm responsible, but what does responsibility mean? Responsibility is more than I'm just going to do this and do that. It's about love and a relationship with God. And I'm thinking, like, how much I love Mina, but it's not cliche. She's with God, and you know, we'll see her soon in our time. And she was in so much pain. You know, her life was so hard at this point. And I'll eat a milfay for her. We were going to have a milfay together. Anyway, it was a wonderful message, Mauricio. I love the picture of the wedding, because in so much and everything, we can see that as a beautiful picture of what our walk is with God.
Got our tongues.
What's this?
Oh, Angel, if you want to speak, you need to unmute.
Yeah, it was a beautiful message, Mauricio. Thank you. You know that the Creator always talked to us in using parables, okay, and stories about, you know, in order to teach us and in order to make us see what it is, creation, what is our role of being here. And I wanted to share something that I wrote that I couldn't. I mean, I've never seen something so like clear and so like strong, clear and so right to the point of our purpose. Okay, in here, our lives. As I was listening yesterday or the other day, Miriam, that she was having. She was talking about you know, asking herself about, you know, things in life and about how to continue and how to you know, and I want you to listen to what it says. Okay, so the purpose of you to be here on this planet is to show and mirror the face of spirit, the face of a creator, of your soul, to mirror that in this world, in this 3D world, okay, as much as you can, so that you walk from place to place to show those around you what it is like to have wisdom, to have benevolence, and kindness instead of all the other things that perhaps are used that perhaps are used to seeing with individuals around the planet. Now, what a great honor, responsibility, and privilege, isn't it? That the Creator entrusts us with a fractal of Him, which is Spirit, to experience and to be participant of creation and the divine community by learning and becoming conscious of the importance of being echad, oneness, through the unity of spirit, reconnecting to or returning to the presence of the Creator. Also, we call it kingdom of heaven, which was an allegorical way of saying not only being in the presence of God, but being transformed into a much higher state of being, but becoming unified as a heart with our Creator for eternity. And this is the state that that Rabbi what Rabbi experienced when he got to cross the veil. Because when you cross this veil and you see what is behind the veil, you realize that the only thing that has been holding us for crossing this veil is the fear of the unknown. We don't know what is behind the veil. We don't want to fail because we are so worried about ourselves that is the reason why, as you were saying, ego is our worst enemy. Because walking with God, it requires to trust fully, completely, and that requires to put your beliefs and you trust that you have learned according to your own mind in practice instead of trusting the Creator and crossing this veil of unknown. Okay, now, and that require, and of course, and not only walking with God,
But Angel, how can we cross the veil? We can't cross the veil without being with God. He's the one who brings
this is the problem. We have been taught by our religious system, okay, that we cannot cross that veil until we pass or we die.
Well, the body can't cross the veil.
Now, once that we know and we learn, okay, that when we reconnect to spirit, to the Creator, as remember, the parables that the God gave us, like the bride, which represent us, the desire of the Creator to make us be part of Him so close that we're going to live as a perpetual union, like a marriage, for eternity with Him.
Maybe, sorry to interrupt, but Peggy, maybe if can understand what you're saying, Angel, is that, we live in a temporal and an infinite or eternal body. So in that sense,
the body.
No, but we haven't crossed the veil. But in a way, when we're with God, we're with Him now, and when we cross the veil. Is that what you're saying? We've already, in that sense, we haven't crossed the veil. We haven't died, but we're with God. It's like
we are okay. The body is not physical
right.
body is not infinite. It's not.
It's finite.
No, it's finite. That's the temporal part, but we are spiritual.
But the spirit that is within us, okay, is eternal, and that is a part of the Creator, which has been put on us. It's Him in us. Now, the living word. When we refer to the living word, the Torah. What is the Torah? It's the living word. Okay. Now it's the Spirit. It refers to the Spirit. It's all about parables. It's all about understanding. That it's a way that the Creator gave us to, maybe because we don't understand all the scriptures. Sometimes there are some things that the Creator revealed to us, the meaning and what He's trying to say. But it's all put all together to make us closer to and bring our conscious to the point where we're starting to reconnect and to understand about our life. What is our life? Why the Creator would put in such a rough life, going through all this and through all that, there is purpose of learning, there is purpose of growth, there is purpose of understanding that some people they are very open in the sense of they listen. They their egos are not blocking. They're open to cross this veil of non controlling what is behind. And when you cross that, you're going to see the greatest truth that is behind. Everything that we have been limited through our religious systems, the religious systems, they block us. Many of them, they are more oriented to make the people be confined and under a certain fence, okay, that in their worry to protect us, and in their worry for not turn to other things, or to quit, or to leave, they have blocked us from going beyond, from learning, from anyway. So
I agree with what you're saying, Angel, and I believe, because when I was in the New Age, we always talked about going beyond the veil as well. And I think that what God wants from us is to have balance between that spiritual, using that spirituality to learn to live on this beautiful planet that he gave us, to have relationship with each other, to enjoy life. All the holidays were about enjoying, about his provision, helping us to live here, knowing that we have a connection, but without going so spiritual all the time that we don't have our feet planted on the ground, because he wants us living on this earth. Once the body is gone, then we'll be beyond the veil.
yeah.
But we can't live beyond the veil because it won't allow us to live here.
No, it depends. It depends how you look at it. Okay? Beyond the veil, it's not, it's in a state of wisdom that you get to see and understand everything.
Yeah, but we can't while we're here. He said, the secret things belong to me. I have given you what you need to know. It's impossible for us to have the mind of God. Yes, we can
have the feeling that,
no,
I have the feeling, I could be
Yeah.
wrong, I'm going to say it again, but you're both saying the same thing.
I believe so.
Because,
And yet,
remember when the festivals are described, the agricultural festivals, Shavuot, Pesach,
yeah,
and Sukkot are beings on this earth. The joy of God, we bring the first fruits of our, and then it was the crops, but of our lives. But we bring them, and then we eat them with joy. So
exactly.
it's joy on this earth,
of
but we
this
are
festival.
also eternal beings at the same time. But I wouldn't use the veil as a metaphor. It's just a metaphor. It means we have God within us, and we're walking with God, and he's helping us through all these times. So we are both eternal and temporal beings together. No point separating it. I think that's what you're saying, no, Angel? That we are walking with God. What an incredible thing as a human being.
We are in this reality, in this 3D world, once that we experience this reconnection with the Creator, look what Yeshua did. Look at his works. Okay, that is it's wherever he was walking, he was reflecting. Remember, being a mirror, as I said before, that the purpose of being mirror of the face of the Creator. And that includes this is another parable. Okay, you cannot we know God, it's not physical, it's not but it's about love, it's about justice, it's about kindness, it's about righteousness, it's about compassion, and all these attributes that make us like honorable, make us like worthy, like when we care about each other. And when I say I care about each other, it's not only care about Jewish people only, or about the Spaniards only, or the Canadians only, or Hondureños.
Humanity.
It's about humanity.
Yeah.
That is the purpose. Why would then Yeshua teach us with these parables all the time about the Samaritan who who takes care of what was the parable that he talks about one Levite walking and sees someone who is in the road that has been beat up, and he was not Jewish. Sorry.
He didn't help him. The guy that was lying on the road.
Yeah, there was a
He was
Kohen
afraid.
who
He
walked
thought
by,
he was.
a Levite who went by, but then one who moved by compassion came and took him. The guy who was robbed in the road. I don't remember that. I
Yes,
don't
yes.
remember.
Yeah.
But
Well,
do you
yes.
remember that part, that parable? That tells you the main teaching that it's us, to
It's okay.
Somebody in trouble, we
Understand.
gotta help him.
with
Yes.
spirit. Well, what is essential on creation, on existence, is to be this, to have a heart as
Yes.
flesh, as is referred in the scriptures on the Torah.
Yes.
A rock, and but there is, for that, it requires a learning process. It requires sometimes you get to experience in your life like someone does that to you, in order to look at yourself and say, oh man, I have been doing this to other people, and now I have learned not to do it anymore. Someone did it to me, and now I feel it, now I see it. That is a process. Now we continue, we grow,
Yes.
other things, until we reach to that point where we are walking as Yeshua was walking on this planet.
Exactly. He's
And the more we get close to the Creator, the more we realize and the more we see the gifts that we read always. Well, we read in the Bible, oh, there's so many gifts. God will give us this gift, healing, and because once that we become one in the Spirit with Him, we will learn how our body is connected to Spirit, how a Spirit can interact with our body, healing ourselves, healing others, learning this most secrets, that how the universe is created, how everything works, and coming back to what the holidays, the purpose of the holidays. Do you know that one of the main purpose of that, it was to gathering unity with the Creator, but not only that, we forgot the main part, is that the land, it's bringing the fruit of the land, unify everything, the planet, us, and the Creator becoming all one. The power of all that. It's recognizing, and everything now is starting to turn, like a planet as one with the Creator. Everything is starting to work as it should. It's so important that we shouldn't have the tendency on only focus on, we need to do this, and we need to bring these offerings, but it's reconnecting nature, our planet, reconnecting us and God.
yes. Thank you, Angel. All right, Mauricio.
Yes, I was listening everything, and I really love all the pictures that you bring today, because um, in a God in this portion is telling us that He wants that we be a nation of priests and kings. Okay, so the priest comes to my mind while Angel was talking. They really went to to the presence of God in the tabernacle, and then once a year they enter the veil and meet with God. So and and it came to my mind that yes, the veil uh, is put first for us, okay, because we decide to believe in all these lies. That God wants to be far from us. That the God is not the closest God who is inside of us. And so
Yeah,
that's
but Mauricio, remember, sorry interrupting you, but remember that even the say that the word is not far, that you can say, oh, how gonna no, it's already telling us spirit is within you. You just have to reconnect. When we reconnect with the creator, that's it.
That's what
It's-
that's what he meant when he said the kingdom of heaven is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
our
know,
problem is that yeah, sorry.
yeah, and you know, for me, it's so beautiful because uh, when well, we continually, it's a relationship like a marriage. Yeah, sometimes we are very close to God, sometimes we are very far from God. It depends of the moment, and depends of the place, it depends of the experiences, etc. But the point is that God is not so far. We don't, we just have to say, oh God, I want to make a Shabbat, I want to come to you, and He's there to you know, for us. And so, but for that reason, I wrote in the message with Habakkuk. The problem today is when you have pride, is a problem because pride don't let you to ask help.
Right.
To say, God, I want to reconnect with you, because
Right.
sometimes we want to reconnect with us or with our our own abilities to resolve problems,
Right.
not depend. Then so we could have some problems if we don't come to God as for example, in a relationship of marriage. I wonder if I have to say to Evelyn, like some people do with God, oh, I want to ask your permission, you know, to come before you, and to be not a relationship, but to be so I would
Intimate.
say, yeah,
Intimate.
not to be intimate, yes, but
Yeah.
that's important.
Not a dictator.
Yes, is to have a confidence that He's there. That's why Rav Shaul talks that I can remember in what in what part of the Brit Shabbat, but you know, he said, hey, come together and come before His presence with confidence, before the throne of God, because He's full of grace, and you know, but also that's why we need maturity. And maturity will lead you to break the veil, okay? Because if you don't want, you don't want, you only are like, you know, asking to have this kind of relation. God give me, God help me, God,
Right.
and all of that time,
Hey,
if
you
there is
fucking idiot! Just
Brian, you're yelling.
Put yourself on mute, Brian.
I just did.
Oh,
you know, it's so for me, honestly, is a kind of when I come before God, you know, one of the things I try to do is first to have a very good thought, okay, because I believe that when you want to reconnect with God, for example, you want to write, or you want to sing, or you just want to meditate in God, to reconnect, to we have a lot of distractors around that every day, okay? But sometimes we need just to have 1 second or 1 minute to say, hey, stop life. I need to be with God and be with me, just two of us. I don't know if it happens to you, but it's something like Ezekiel, the Ruach starts to move you, okay? How it's an energy that just comes from the inner part of you, Okay, and you look and seek God, and then you start to have a very good thought. Why? Because from your inner heart start the connection with God. If you have bad thoughts, okay, for example, you you don't want a person, you hate this person, or you are stressed about something, then you won't be able to reconnect. So you need to clean, you need to clear your thoughts. Okay.
You know, Mauricio, the problem is when people with pride, which is also origin from the ego, okay, because they have learned, and whatever they have learned, they are not open to change what have learned because they are completely convinced that this is it and there is no more, and that's it. I don't want to open. I don't want to listen to other people. Now, I remember always Percy saying, Rabbi Percy said about always quoting Socrates when he says, "The only thing that I know is that I don't know anything." You know why he was one of the wisest Greeks philosophers? That is the reason why, because he was open always to learn. Because, you know, people who, from the moment that the people call themselves masters, or they are masters, or from the moment that they believe that they have learned already everything, that is the number one indicative, okay, that this person has yet experienced the growth that shows that, you know, this person has already crossed the veil. Remember, the veil is just a parable. It's just to remove what is blocking us or stopping us from searching for truth, a greater truth, for searching and learning. And now, my problem is, I don't have any problem as everybody has the free will, okay? And because there is free will, this is the most one of the things that the creator give us, the most that has to be respected, as each individual has to learn for himself. Now, Yeshua could have come and could have explained everything, could have said clearly, okay, look, the kingdom is like this, you are like this, you're doing this, you know. But no, he will talk to parables. Why? Because he had to respect the free will of learning, of development of each individual. There were people that were not prepared to listen to the message. Remember also when the disciples that were taught to go and preach the good news, and when you get to a point or to a place where you will be rejected, you just do need to leave because they were not ready, you know. And this is one of the things, as believers, we want to share the truth, we want to share the message, we want everybody to be safe, but we forget about it requires these people to be open and to be, and that cannot only be when they are close to spirit, when they're close to God. You know what I mean?
You know, it's interesting about how Hebrew is is a language of pictures, because the veil, we see the picture when the bride wears the veil before her face.
Mhm.
And so that has to be taken off for the two of them to come together. And
Now,
then the other veil is the Holy of Holies. You know, he had to go into the Holy of Holies beyond the veil to be able to be in the presence of God. I love these pictures.
yes, you know, if Jacob would have looked behind the veil, would have been tricked. You see, eh? So
Exactly.
now, but what my problem is this, is that our religious system, they have taken away and have put everyone in the same condition that you cannot, if you get out of that, you know, you are
But the religious system was created right at the very beginning when Adam and Eve, when they tried to cover themselves up with a fig leaf, they created the first religious system. They were showing God that my way is better than yours. That's the bottom line of any religious system. It's we refuse to choose him and obey him. And they only had one commandment to obey. Imagine. And they couldn't even do that. That's our nature. We want to develop religions instead of just going naked before God. And That's
Yeah.
our ego, as you said.
It is true that when you walk with the Creator, you walk in innocence. I mean, you walk with knowledge and wisdom,
Yeah.
but in your heart, there is not malice. There is not double thought. There is not. It's you and the Creator. You know, you cannot walk for a moment. You decide to walk with the Creator. You know, that's it. You cannot be.
But
You have,
that's our struggle. That's our challenge on this earth. That's what we have to learn to do day by day.
but that doesn't mean that you cannot, behave sometimes. Because we still are bound to this body, right? And so
course.
we have these fits, and we have these frustrations, and we have this, and we get upset because because we
And I
want to
think
control everything. But despite of that, despite whatever happens to us, as Paul always says that everything that happens to us
Is for good.
is for good, but it's because it requires the process of learning. Oh, I have to go.
Exactly.
Oh man! But then
That's our journey.
you learn.
Yes,
It's the
but
Yeah.
you
journey.
know,
And I
that-
say, as I always say, it's about the destination. It's about where we get.
No, it's about the journey,
the
destination.
process,
Yeah, the
Okay.
process.
The process of getting there.
Yeah.
But we require the experience. But the focus, our focus is,
It's on him.
yeah.
Yes.
see, I have learned during this time that the first step, honestly, is to believe. Okay, is good and it's a step. Okay, to believe in God. Yes, I know God exists. I know that the Torah is good. I believe. Okay, but then God wants that we grow. Okay, it's good to believe. Then you have to have bitachon. Okay, you have to what you believe. You have to practice. Okay, so it's another step. But that those two steps are not enough. Okay, then you need to study to get knowledge because as Yeshua said, the truth will make you free. But how do you get truth when you start to study? Okay, that makes you grow when you go in deep. Okay, and you not only see some words, no, you start to understand what these words are saying, and this word becomes truth. And then what happened to your brain? It starts to know that it's something good because now you know, you believe, and you practice. Okay, so that's another step. And
Yes,
then
But
I don't
Rabbi,
know. I
Yeah.
just want to say when Yeshua said, "You shall know the truth, and it shall set you free," I always understood, and I still believe that it means God Himself will set you free in a relationship with God. There are 5-year-olds who have had an experience with God, so I know when you study so-called what you're saying. To me, that's just a part of the journey. It's not. It's not like a required. What I'm saying is the relationship requires growing, and that depends on every single person. Some people
But
don't
we,
study. I'm
we,
saying
we
I know
have,
what you mean though. When you study, I remember reading passages and almost like they came alive in me. So
yeah, but
maybe you should qualify with the word study. But anyway,
yeah,
but
because you could spend years studying what the rabbis say, and it's not going to bring you closer
yeah,
to God.
it's
but,
not at all.
let's
Yeah.
go to the main important thing. Remove the word, remove the learning. As you know, how can you explain that you already know that to steal, nobody has to, you don't have to read it. To steal,
As it's implanted.
it's already within it, within our spirit. It's already, we know that. We know what is right, we know what is wrong. Okay, if you are a little bit, cuckoo, well, maybe you don't know much. Or you are from a tribe that is in the Amazon and they are cannibals, and they don't know yet. Or
But even they know.
but they know that they cannot eat their own tribe,
They
but
know.
the people on the, so you can see that. So now the word, remember, I believe it's part of teaching us, to come back to the creator. The meaning is always the meaning, the spirit is the spirit. The main thing that when you get to understand, then it gets, you get to, continue growth
And we get to understand because God lifts again the veil from our eyes. I knew that there was a creator. I knew the idea of the veil, but I never knew intimately this God until I had been through everything and I was ready for him to lift the veil from my eyes. Because I know people who believe in God, but they're not obedient to him. They don't agree with him. They're not ready to take that extra step of saying, I want to follow you. That's
one of
that's
the
him.
things, Peggy, that we have, that they have implanted on us is the idea of a God who is vengative, who will punish you, and who will, do if you don't, we have given attributes, human attributes, to the creator. These are human attributes.
That's religion.
So God never wished the worst for us, but where was he when all these things happened? They didn't protect us, or they didn't. There is a purpose of all the things that we grow. Now, there's sometimes, that ends up to the end of life. Sometimes, people dying. Now, can you explain something about that? I believe that the creator, some sort, it's like telling us that we need to restart, we need to begin again. But I mean, not to go into.
No, but what you're saying is true, because look, if you go back again, the original picture of Adam and Eve, when he covered himself with a fig leaf, and God said to him, where are you? God didn't say to him, look what you did, I'm going to punish you.
Like if God didn't,
where are you?
If God that feels everything in the cosmos, in the universe, couldn't see them, it's all humanized. It's all in a way that was told through these stories to us so that we understand. But we need to focus on the spirit of that. Okay. Now, another thing that with the 10 Commandments that we read, in Shavuot, that the God, it's like God had an appointment with Moshe, and he left the entire cosmos just to be focused on that mountain. How can you explain? Okay, now I have my own beliefs and I have my own understanding, and when we refer okay, this is another thing that most of you is not going to agree with me, and I understand, but I have a different approach and a different understanding about when we receive in Shavuot the commandments of the Creator. Okay, that I believe it was more his messenger. He was sent, okay, to give us the commandments and instructions. But still,
I don't understand what you believe differently about. I don't understand.
I believe that the Creator, okay. If we have an understanding of he is everywhere, isn't in all of us, or how could you explain that he could be able to listen billions only on this planet of prayers at the same time? Can you imagine out of this planet, out of the galaxy, out of how many, the entire galaxy, the entire creation, because we are limited on our thinking on us, on our country, but it's big. This is so what I'm trying to explain is that
I hear you're being distracted by little ducks or chickens or
you can
I hear them. Karen, you want to? Oh my goodness! Look at those little oh my
baby quail.
Look at the long beaks, unreal.
No, they're really, really tiny.
Oh, maybe the direction.
Oh, there, look from the side. It's so cute.
No, like this is my hand, And like it's so tiny.
Wow.
Oh, so cute.
And he's fast.
We're trying to fix its feet. It's got funny feet. It was hatched funny.
Oh, he needs a chiropractor.
I'm deploying them. Sorry.
Anyways,
Gotcha.
I'll just stop now.
Okay, Angel, maybe it's time to prepare a message to bring on Shabbat. So you can,
Yeah,
right?
to add something, okay? When I refer that yes, it's true. One concept could be the truth will make you free is referring to God.
God,
Yes,
right,
absolutely, because God is something that is really the truth.
right.
Everything is you could be in darkness. Then before God, everything is light and clear, and you can see everything. Okay, but the prophet says, "My people die because of a knowledge." Okay,
Yeah, but
and
knowledge means intimacy with the Creator.
Yeah.
yes, that's intimacy. But you know, you need because, for example, you make a position. Do not steal. Yeah, do not steal could be something. Do not take something from other person and take you to your home. But steal is beyond that. That is primary school concept. Okay. For example, it says the midrash when you wake up somebody, for example, and you tell and you wake him up or wake her up, you are stealing his ring, for example. That is another step. Or when you steal time to another person when you are not on time in a day, for example, you're stealing time to another person. Or when
I don't
you
understand what you mean, Mauricio. I can't follow you.
I
say
think I'm understanding the principle, but I'm not saying people should, isn't that part of just growing on our walk with God? But it doesn't mean literally we're all called to do different things. I think, like, I know people of 5 who have had encounters with God, filled with the love of God, and have had experiences. Then they have to grow and grow up, of course. But I'm not sure when you say study, like the 10 Commandments, I think everyone knows what don't steal means. Some people have a more childish understanding of it, but in our being, we know what that means. I really believe that. And anyway, maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying.
You know,
no,
Mauricio, let me just say something. When you're talking about the truth, you will know the truth and they will set you free. Start asking yourself, what is holding me from being free? Which just the fact that you need, okay, you are confirming that is something that is holding you from being free.
Remember last time you said, Mauricio, and Rabbi would say the same thing. Emet, the first letter is Aleph, the middle letter is Mem, the last letter is T. From the beginning and the end of the Torah, of the Tanakh, we have Emet. And it's the words, in the words that God gave us lies the truth that sets us free. And it's in acting out upon them, living them. If God says, bring your first fruits, and we say, no, I'm going to go study what the rabbis say, but I don't bring my first fruits, doesn't mean anything.
I'm not saying that you have to study what other person says. What I'm saying is that we need to study the document that God gave us.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
Why? Because
Hold on,
there's a lot of people that doesn't know nothing about the Torah
yeah.
except what they hear from a video, what they
This
hear.
is why we're doing what we're doing. This is why on
Exactly.
Tuesday nights you
Exactly.
meet and you go through the portion. This is why on Wednesday night I go through and we read it together, because people don't know what's in it and are believing other people. You're absolutely right. And then when you go to the prophets, and like so often I've learned from you, you know, this is what the prophet says about this. This is why Habakkuk said that because of this. It's all there. If we just read what he wrote, we would, that's our knowledge.
Yeah, and you know, that's it. It is a problem of people today. People is very lazy.
Yes.
Okay.
They want to be
And
baby fed.
yeah, they want to be baby fed,
Yeah.
and they need to grow. They need to.
It's because it's easy life.
They
They
are
are in a we all were like that. We have
We
have
the comfort.
but we
Yeah.
are in
because that way we can blame somebody else, like what Adam did. He blamed the woman. He blamed this Eve blamed the snake. If you give control to somebody else in every area of our lives, in medicine, in absolutely every area, when we give control away, it's easy.
Yeah, but but then you give the control to a system,
Exactly.
and which is religious, and then you get stuck, you
In
know.
the system, which
Ask,
is what we're trying to do here, break paradigms.
Peggy, ask any of the our Jewish elders that they are in the buildings that you know that they are to talk freely about what they believe. Now that will give you an indication, okay, how much control this religious system has over. If you say anything, oh, but I think that you know about Yeshua, this person risks to lose all the support of the community, okay, and even though he's 100% Jewish, okay, and you know, pure from both parent and mother, you know, 100%.
That doesn't mean anything to God.
I know, but that is the thing.
That's the whole story of Ruth.
The people that are in need, I understand the need. They wouldn't have any other, and in this life, they wouldn't have all the other options, you know, like continue, but to be assisted by, and in some sort, that is good because remember, we need to preserve life. That is the main, you know, one of the preserve our life and preserve the life of others, and respect that. But you know, in the other hand, we become slave ourselves to this system, you know, and that's it. We cannot do anything. We cannot grow. We cannot, you know, and that is sad. It's sad. It's very sad because we are not. This is not the purpose that God.
No, but that's our work.
We are each single one of us.
Yeah.
We have a spark of the Creator. We have a piece of Him.
Yes.
Now, that is what we have to do is we have to be the mirror to show, you know, that. And of course, Peggy, you will have it reflected. You reflect us how the Creator is in you and how, you know, through your life.
Exactly.
All this knowledge and all this that we can learn.
Exactly.
And this is about, you know, returning about knowing what is holding us.
Yes.
This is when we realize that we are free. When we know that this has been holding us. And from now on, it won't hold us anymore because we already found how we need to live and how we need to, you know.
Exactly. Well, we're coming to the end of our time together here on this Zoom, but we can still enjoy the rest of Shabbat. It's a beautiful day here, and it must be nice in El Salvador and in Mexico. So enjoy the rest of Shabbat, and God willing, we will see you. We'll speak to each other during the week. I'll let you all know what's happening about the funeral for Minale, and just have a blessed day. May God bless us and keep us. May He shine His face upon us. May we reflect His light to all that we meet, all who we meet. And thank you again, Mauricio, Angel. Thank you for your input, Miriam. And we wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Have fun, Miriam.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Sari. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Cristina.
Buenas semana.
Buena semana.